We do have Chimobi joining us virtually on the program today. And of course, we'd want to take his thoughts on this. I'm sure you've been following this, Chimobi. Glad to have you on the program. Good afternoon to you. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are at the moment, because I know you always move. But then
Uh, yeah,
you've
it's
seen
actually
the pictures,
afternoon
you
over
followed that
here.
story about the bicycle incident. I'd like to hear what you think about it.
Yeah, what it shows is that there is no prior planning or prior preparation because even if the team is not competing, they should be those equipment, the bicycles and all that should be on ground. All those things should be ready because something can come up. Look at what happened. It's a national embarrassment. So whether we qualified for the cycling event or we did not qualify, the bicycles should be ready. Every other apparatus or equipment should be ready. And what that incident showed is that our cycling federation was not ready. So it speaks volumes of the kind of things we see here.
B.
Let me
According to the
digress a
Minister of
little
Sport, he
bit.
said it required a specialized type of bicycle. And now you're bringing up a very salient point. I don't think Charles saw that side
Yeah.
of that coin. You're bringing a salient point, talking about the fact that if we were prepared, we should have that specialized bicycle. I want to draw your attention to some of the athletes with special need, the Paralympians, who require a certain kind of wheelchair, not the normal wheelchair. And then they have to go for these events, borrow wheelchairs from other participants to use. And I think that's what Chimobi is trying to bring out. So if, for example, yes, she did not qualify, but she has been practicing, she should have had a practice type,
Yeah.
right? So is there an excuse? Now let's go to the funding, Chimobi. I don't know if you've also seen the issue of how much was made available, in the budget for, this particular event. Over 9 billion. At least we're sure there's a 9 billion, there's 12 billion. Yes, on two different sides. But then
Yeah.
Charlie wants us to cut the Minister of Sports some slack, saying that money might not be enough. Now, the question so many persons are asking on social media, so they made 9 billion available and one medal has not come through, even if it's ice.
Well, this is well, it shows, like I said in the case of the cycling incident, it shows how unprepared or how disorganized, let me use that term, we are as a country in the aspect of sports. Mapping out 9 billion, right? 9 billion naira for the athletes. Now, I would want to cut him some slack, the minister. I would like to cut him some slack in the area of the athletes. They'll stay in, the ones that won't stay in the games village will be lodged in hotels. They'll be fed, yeah, and all that, the daily running costs and all that. Yeah, but then the 9 billion would actually do us more good if it is actually invested in these athletes. Because the amount, no matter how you twist it, even if dollar is exchanging at 2,000 per dollar, it's huge. It's a very huge sum of money. So you end up seeing that it's like an investment without returns, without any returns on investment. Because we have gone there and we are spending 9 billion on athletes that have not brought any glory whatsoever to the country so far.
Despite the fact that Nigerian Sports Minister John Eno has hailed the impact that the Nigeria women's basketball team has made. He said that they did put up a very good run, and of course they had a fair outing in the group stage in which they defeated Australia, Canada, and then a slim defeat to the host France. We also saw them lose to United States of America, which is like the biggest team when it comes to basketball. But some arguments, especially from Juvie, off the airwaves, saying that these girls play themselves. They ply their trade in the United States. United States basketball players ply their trade in the United States. And so there has to be a meeting point. They've played each other. So they are playing at the same stage. So what the difference here is you're just representing your country. So what's the difference? What went wrong? What could have been the issue? Yes, the victory was quite slim, but there was a lot of hopes. There was a lot of aspiration. But then we give them kudos. I wonder what you think about that, Chimubi.
Yeah, the Tigers, they are wonderful. They are my heroines in these Olympics. They give me joy, like watching them play, and they give this Niger spirit, this Niger vibes. Like since the Olympics started, I've been following them, I've been seeing their content, and I watch their matches, and they are just wonderful. But on the flip side, our national teams speak volumes of how well or how well run our sports sector is in Nigeria. Because you look at our teams and you see that everybody is from the abroad. Everybody is foreign. You can't see like players that came from our system here. And it's a cause for alarm. Why?
Basketball league, just like in the MPFL. Do we have a basketball? The only team I know I hear a lot about is the Rivers Hoopers, who go out to apply, do continental, representation and all that. But then how many teams are there, especially female basketball teams, are playing the league?
Yeah. Yeah, you see, that's the point. That's the point we try to make. If you look at all the athletes representing us at the Olympics, and you come back home here and look at our sports sector, it's just alarming. Alarming is the right word, because there are no structures on ground. The only sport that has a viable national league, which is not even up to the standard it should be, is football, where we have the NPFL. Other sports are highly overlooked. You talk of cricket, you talk of basketball, you talk of rugby, you talk of so many sports that are being played at the Olympics. And you see that the only place where Nigeria is kind of regarded is in the area of probably the weightlifting and just a few track events. And it's not as if we even win, or who maybe manage to get to the final and come 8th or 7th in one or two of them. So it's a reflection of the deficiency we have in the sports sector here. So
let me hold you in your tracks again, Chimubi. Now let me bring that budget. 9 billion, 12 billion.
Yeah.
12 billion on paper, about 2.5 billion, which is on paper. And then we are hearing 12 billion approved for the Olympics, and, clarification from Minister of Sports, NO, saying it was 9 billion, while over 3 billion was earmarked for Paralympics prior to the games. And so all of these amount of money, you're hearing about 100 million from, the House of Representatives and all that kind of stuff coming into the sports sector. And we're talking about deficiency. We're talking about, training issues. We're talking about absence of training facilities and, all of the requirements that these athletes need. So if this money were diverted to the development of the sports sector, we probably would train better. I don't know. I mean,
that's my point. Yeah.
Competent mind or competent hands to compete for us in this sort of competitions. I mean, when we go out there, we always depend on will I say foreign-based players, or we look at players that are playing for the big leagues or in Europe, and that does not help our cause here, because when you have players that are playing the MPFL and they cannot show the world what they can do in competing maybe in the will I say AFCON, to even start with. So I think we should go. You should, just like he said, we should go ahead and make provisions. When you have 100 million naira that is graciously given, quote unquote, to this. I mean, it's a lot of money. Why are we not getting return on investment? Just like the guest said, why are we not getting return on investment? Just a single medal. We have not been able to get a single medal, not even bronze.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad because when you look at the caliber of countries that, or let's say other countries that have been able to register 1 gold or 2 gold, or just like that, and we are better off. I mean, Fiji. What is Botswana? What is the geographical comparison?
That of Botswana has given a public holiday.
Did you understand? And we cannot get that form of joy, that form of we did that.
Yeah.
Our name is going to be forever etched in the sand of time that we did that. It's really heartbreaking, and I can hear and understand the cries of every Nigerian that what's going on. This huge amount of money is allocated to, and there's nothing to show for it. So I just feel like the federation should really come together, work hand in hand to make sure that homegrown talents are try to be brought into the fold and make something out of them.
Well, we'll just have Chimobi stand by. Let me let you know that American Sydney McLaughlin-Leveron smashed her world record as she stormed to a sensational Olympic 400 meters hurdles gold in Paris. Now, the anticipated title showdown with Dutch star Frank Ball never materialized because McLaughlin she was as swift as the wind. 50.37 seconds. Ball, who is actually the second fastest runner, the women's category of all time in the event, faded to finish third in 52.15 seconds behind U.S. silver medalist Anna Cockrell, who ran a personal best of 51.87. So McLaughlin-Leveron improved her world record to 50.65 in June, but she saved her best for the sport's biggest stage to claim her 6th global title. And I'm saying congratulations to her. I mean, you can't also fail to congratulate Botswana's Leslie Tebogo, who claimed a surprise Olympic 200 meters gold medal in the 200 meters. 200 meters, yeah. 21 years, stormed clear of his rival Noah Lyles to clock in on an African record of 19.46 seconds and finished ahead of American Kenneth Bednarek, who crossed the line in 19.62. Lyles crowned the world's fastest man by 5 thousandths of a second. We talked about it on Wednesday. He was the first to cross the finish line. According to reviews by videos, the 100 meters final, came down with COVID and finished third. And he's saying at the end, the bronze medal means a lot for him because what he was trying to do was win like doubles, which was the last time that happened was Usain Bolt. Yeah, Usain Bolt was able to win the 100 meters and the 200 meters. Lyles was trying to achieve that feat, but was unable to do that. And we're hoping that he gets back on his feet because he was pulled out via a wheelchair. And he had a great time on the tracks, no doubt. So congratulations to them. But Botswana has a public holiday, a press release by government saying, let's party, just like it's Friday. Yeah, what a way.
Do it ahead of, giants of Africa,
Yeah.
They really deserve a holiday. You should celebrate it. This sort of thing doesn't come all
the time.
They've been able to put their name there and say we did that. Congratulations to him. If he wants to go on a shopping spree,
he should. They should. And I think that's the same thing happening in Pakistan at the moment. Arshad Nadeem made history by winning Pakistan's very first Olympic gold in athletics, throwing a games record of 92.97 meters in the men's javelin. Yes, what a feat by him. USA's Grant Holloway beat compatriot Daniel Roberts to take the men's 110 meters hurdles title and upgrade the silver from Tokyo, while another American, Tara Davis Woodwall, won the women's long jump. And now to the biggest sporting event, which is football. We saw Morocco win. Ouch! It was massive. 6 goals to 0. They won bronze in Olympic men's football, a thumping victory over Egypt in Nantes. But the beautiful thing is 2 African countries getting to that stage, the third leg, yeah. And it was massive. You know, we saw Tariq Sekou's men responding brilliant to their 2-1 semi-final loss to Spain, who of course will be playing in the finals, and of course recording their biggest win to claim an Olympic medal in football for the first time. Beautiful goals, you know, coming in from the players, a superlative performance they put up to get that resounding victory 6-0, and then the finals will be played tomorrow. How do you see the finals going?
Well, we all know the team that is hungrier. Well, France is not a
The
team that,
host?
yeah, the host is not a team that we should overlook. They have
Yeah.
bright, they have a mixture of, because I always say it all the time when I say it, they have a mixture of experience and young stars. And when you mix the two, well, when you mix the two, you get the
perfect
result.
blend.
Perfect blend, you get the result. I mean, we can talk about the most successful teams in Europe and see the way they were able to infuse young talent and experience. And once you're able to get the right balance between those two, you'll be able to achieve everything. Because once the young one wants to fly, there's one someone is going to say, just chill,
Calm down.
take it easy. And that is just the perfect balance in football.
If we do have Chimobi standing by, I'd love to find out what his thoughts are as regards the game between France and Spain tomorrow, the finals, and of course Morocco beating Egypt by 6-0. Chimobi, what do you think about that?
The Morocco versus Egypt game, I think, is a case of Egypt players losing morale, you know, after losing in the semifinals. So it happens at times. So it's up to the coach and the coaching crew members to kind of ginger the players and reboost their morale. Because I know on paper, Morocco is better, but it's not to the extent of walloping them by 6-0. It's quite disappointing. I hope they can pick themselves up and prepare better for the next Olympics. Then for the final, it is a must-watch game. There are so many exciting stars that are going to be on show. For France, we have the likes of Michael Olise. Olise has been exciting for France. He has been pulling the strings alongside Ryan Cherky in midfield. You know, then up front they have Lacazette and they have Mateta. A very nice blend of experience and youth. Then Spain, on the other hand, they have very, very nice players. One person that has stood out is Fermin Lopez. Fermin Lopez has been so exceptional for Spain. Then when you look all around the team, you will see young and experienced guys. I think the oldest guy in that Spain squad is 24, but he has a lot of experience under his belt. We have the likes of Alex Baena, we have Sergio Gomez, Fermin Lopez, and a whole lot of young players, mostly from La Masia, that's Barcelona's academy. So it's going to be a very, very tough game. And I hope it will have a lot of goals. I hope they don't sit back and defend. I hope they come out and play and give us a final befitting of an Olympic gold medal.
Well, Chimobi, just to break your heart, Toby Amusun has fallen shy of qualification for the 100 meters hurdles final, coming in 12.55 seconds, right? And just third in that line. The first position went to United States, and that's SOUQ of United States and Charlton of Bahamas. So G-SOUQ of United States came in 12.39 seconds, and D Charlton 12.50, and Toby Amusun 12.55 seconds. Sad one there. It feels very terrible, you know, having to be the one to break this news to you. It's obvious. It's showing on your face.
Well, you lose some, you win some. So we have to pick ourselves up. She has to pick herself up and start preparing for the next opportunity.
Well said there. You couldn't have said it any better, but I'd like to find out what Charles also has to say about that.
She has given her best.
Yeah.
And we know what her best is. I mean, breaking 2 world records in one night previously before this Olympic. I feel like she has done everything right to make sure that she is undisputed when it comes to the hurdles. But coming against the likes of the US, you know what their firepower, you know what they can stack and what they can pack. So, well, kudos to her. this is not the end of the road. Just like he said, she can pick herself up and prepare for the next Olympic if she, if God keeping us alive, and if she will be fit for it as well. So we are kudos to her. Really, I can't take anything from her performance. So I can't say it is a reason for her to put her head down. She has to chin up and get ready for the next outing.
Well, we'll continue to monitor development. Of course, the Paris Olympic is wrapping up really fine, and it's been a momentous experience getting to follow and bring Paris to you with love. Now we'll move on to transfers. Chelsea has completed the signing of Boca Juniors defender Aaron and Semino, and it's a 15.6 million pounds deal. 19 years of age, signed a 7-year contract at Stamford Bridge, but remain on loan at Argentine club for the 2024-2025 season as part of the agreement. He made his debut for Boca in June 2023 and has made as much as 10 appearances in total. He signed a contract extension in January 2024 that tied him to the club till about 2028. So far, let's take a look at what Chelsea has spent. 115 million pounds on midfielders: Kernan, Desbury Hall, Renato Vega, Omari, Kellyman, goalkeeper. Now, there's a video I saw online that says Chelsea has as much as 8 goalkeepers now.
Very true.
Chimubi, what do you think about that? Is Chelsea lacking in the goalkeeping department that they should be packing as much as 8 goalkeepers?
Well, I think the issue there is not the number of goalkeepers, but it's having the right person, the right goalkeeper. I remember when Chelsea signed Mendy. Mendy became the number 1 goalkeeper. He immediately pushed Kepa out of the picture and became the number 1 goalkeeper. So it's not about signing 8 or 9 goalkeepers. It's about having that one person amongst them that will stand out and become the undisputed number 1, or even 2 persons. There are clubs that have 2 goalkeepers, like Brighton. Brighton have Verbogen and Steele. So they alternate them. This one will play Premier League, the other one will play FA Cup. So it's about having the right person or the right 2 persons that will step up and take up that responsibility of being the number 1 goalkeeper, or the number 1 and number 2 goalkeeper for Chelsea.
Well, Charles, let me put you on the spot here. 8 goalkeepers. He's saying it's good, you could probably have 2, but then Chelsea has 8. So are you going to be sending these to the academies, to your second team? Are you going to be loaning them out? Are you going to be keeping all of them? Because you have a problem of, issue of financial fair play, hovering around the English Premier League is very serious. And so you're spending a lot of money, especially where you don't need it. Yeah. Is the Chelsea team compact enough to prosecute the league in your favor, in your opinion? Because we've seen their preseason failing to, put up a worthy display.
They lost 3, 1-1 and drew. Okay, they lost 2, 1-1 and drew 1.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a bad when you look at it, but having that amount of players in your squad or under your control, I don't want to be in Enzo's shoes anytime, because you have 41 players eligible to play in the Premier League, and that is a lot of people to manage, if you ask me, because which one are you going to send out? Which one are you going to keep? They make a lot of signing, especially in the goalkeeping department, and they allow those players to remain at their club until, I think there was one I saw on social media for 12.5 or so thereabout, but he was asked to stay in his parent club. Why do you sign all these players? Why do you choose to recruit a lot of players, giving the coach headache? Because that's the biggest headache.
Headache or options?
The options, because you're not able to, assess these players. Once you are chopping and changing things, you'll not be able to get your starting 11. And once you have that problem, it persists to the end of the season. Because once you have identified, okay, this person is going to start, then he picks up an injury. Don't get me wrong, it's also good for the motivation of the player. I would say nobody has a guaranteed start, so anybody that gets the opportunity will want to put in performances for the manager. But then it gives the keeper, the manager, headache. So having 8 keepers in your side, I don't know how he's going to manage it, but that's a lot. That's a lot of
But
money.
Chelsea needs a striker. It's
No, they do.
undoubtedly one of the facts that stares the fans and management in the face. The Blues are actually in the market for a striker and are keen on Atletico Madrid forward Samu Maridjan. When we talked about it on Wednesday, that deal hadn't pulled through, and we're looking forward to pen going on paper. We're not certain of whatever the outcome might be just yet. But Nice defender Jean-Claire Todibo is set to have a medical with West Ham United today as they aim to beat Juve to the Frenchman's signature. The Hammers agreed an initial season-long loan deal for Todibo, and that includes a 40 million euros, which is about 34.22 million pounds option to buy in 2025. Juve had been in front, they were front runners to sign the 24-year-old. It's not Juve, it's not a Juve. I saw the way you looked at me there. But then a move to London is not yet certain. It will be a very significant coup for the Hammers to edge Juventus to the signing, given the Italian club can offer Champions League football. One man who I am very sad about is David De Gea, who has just been up for a while and then he's going down the rung of the ladder every second. He used to be a very celebrated goalkeeper. He spent last season on the sidelines after his contract at United ended. And over the past few months, David De Gea was released. He has released training footage, yes, and that's including some taken at National League club Outreachman. That's close to his home in northwest England. His most recent post on the 25th of June included the words "ready to rock." But then we hear there's a move to MLS side, there's a move to Saudi Arabia. What's the best for the man at the moment, Chimobi?
I think a move to the MLS or Saudi would do him a lot of good because at his age and at his level, many people see him as a kind of legend for United because he served them so well. He kept a lot of clean sheets, made a lot of saves. It's sad that his journey with Man United had to end the way it ended. But then it's good that he's training, sharing footages of him training and all that. It shows that he has this resolve to try to bounce back. So even if the clubs in Europe don't want him, I believe going to the MLS, because these clubs over there, they don't just look at the professional or the playing side of it. They also look at the commercial side of it in shirt sales and all that. So a move to the MLS or even to Saudi would do him a whole lot of good.
Thank you so much for finding time to join us on the program today, Chimobi. It's been a pleasure having you virtually. Standing by, very patient and contributing on the show today. I'm hoping that when we call on you again, you would play your part while we play ours here.
Thank you very much.